evening, everybody. We are live.
Good evening.
Wind Whispers. Hello, everyone. Please don't forget to hit that like button on the way in. Yes, please. Please do so. So, we're sitting here talking to the spirits. Tabitha's on the way. She will be here. I got my other device here so I can actually read what's going on. So, we'll hang out, guys. If as people come in, we'll repeat some of the same stuff. Oh,
Wow.
hello. We got some spirits here. So, as people come in, if you guys have any questions, whoop, feel free to stick the questions in the chat. Yes, no answers, stuff like yes, no questions. If you have something you'd like to know that Hillary can help you with,
Absolutely.
drop it in the chat, and we'll just hang out and talk. So,
Sounds like great to me.
I was started editing. I got
Hmm.
home with the evidence, and I'm sitting there editing, and I did 5 solid hours of editing yesterday. Today I was trying to clean up all the stuff that I have, pictures and duplicates. Hey, the Bud Files, what's up, brother? Um, so I was on my Splice app. Hello, they're communicating back there. Anyways, I accidentally bumped and deleted like 15 minutes of solid done footage. I
Oh
mean,
no.
yeah. So gone. You know when you hit delete, and then I hit confirm, and I thought I was doing the right thing, but right when I hit confirm, I realized that I messed up, and I watched it go and just disappear.
Oh
I was like,
no. That sucks.
so I had to go back. I have all the raw footage, and I actually made it better than the first round, so that was really cool. Hey, BB.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I want to show. You want me to go get cigarettes? I'm so sorry, Johnny.
no,
Yes,
you're good.
please. Either one.
I got so tonight we got. I'll show it to you guys. Hang on. It's called a buzz ball. You ever heard of a buzz ball, Hillary?
No, I haven't.
I'll show you. We're gonna have some spirits with the spirits.
Spirits with the spirits.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have us a couple of drinks tonight. What? It's Saturday night. I'm not driving. So,
Yeah. That should have got me some wine.
well,
I'm just
normally.
drinking boring sweet tea.
All right. This is a buzz ball. Here we go. A buzz ball. It's a big buzz ball too. It's like back in the day, they used to make these little 4 packs of Kahlua White
Mm-hmm.
Russian,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like that. It's like a chocolate tea is
Oh.
what it's called,
Oh, okay.
but it's good. It's good,
I
and it does give
gotcha.
you a buzz.
Yeah, I think I remember those. What were they? They were kind of like mini kegs, and they were in a ball back in the '90s. I don't know if they still make them or not.
Which ones?
They
What
were.
do you,
It was in the '90s, and they were beer kegs, but except they were in a ball, and they were like mini. They were
yep,
smaller
I
kegs
remember
for
those.
less people.
Yep, I remember those. It's been so long. So I wanted to choose, guys. I'm gonna put this out there. I had a glass of screwdriver at the Thomas house for the last live, and I'm not gonna make this a habit, but I've enjoyed the live. I enjoyed myself. Well, Tab and I had a great time there. We had a couple drinks together. So I have the buzz ball for tonight. I figured on Saturday night I'll have a drink, spirits with the spirits. If you guys got any questions, there's a few people coming in. We got Hillary on panel. If you got any yes, no questions, slam them in the chat. Or,
Absolutely.
about whatever, psychic questions, or if you have any questions about like cold cases or energy or anything you want to know about the paranormal. And between her and I, we'll try to field the questions the best we can.
That
Hey,
sounds
Lynn.
good to me. Hey, Lynn.
A friend of mine gave me a big ass bale of marijuana, homegrown. This isn't it. This is the trip. I got these. These are the trimmed parcels. I still have
Oh,
half a freaking trash bag full, man. So,
wow.
I,
Have you
so
tried it yet? Is it any good?
oh yeah, it's great. It's great.
Wow.
So
Homegrown back in the day was not. what it is now. Homegrown nowadays could be just as good as anything because
Oh yeah.
everybody knows these techniques, and it's
Well,
crazy.
also now you can get like feminized seeds, so you don't have to deal with any of the male plants or any of the seeds at all, and you can even get seeds that are feminized and they're auto flower. What that means is that you can leave these plants grow in light 24/7 because anybody that knows growing marijuana, you once you grow through the vegetative stage, in order to get it to bud, you got to do 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. And that starts the flowering cycle. Um, so the auto flowers will grow no matter what. So basically the light makes it grow much faster. You just get a
Hmm.
little less of a yield, but it's like foolproof. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like seeds for a novice grower. But yeah.
They're just going crazy behind you. I don't know. I guess you can't see it, but they're going crazy.
So, guys, at the Thomas house where we just were, there's two children's spirits. There's Sarah and there's Edwin, both of whom came through very clearly. Right before we came on here, I asked, I was talking about the Thomas house. The thing started, it lit up just like it just did. Um,
Yeah.
so I said, "Are you from the Thomas house?" Boom! I got another big flash. I was like, "Okay, well, welcome." And then I said, "Are you some of the kids from the Thomas house?" Boom, they completely pinned it. So they're here hanging out with the Totten kids. How about that?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Maybe we
So
can ask them some more stuff. Oh, there it goes again. Maybe we can ask them some stuff later.
so anybody that's here with us, are you one of the Cloyds? Are you one of the Cloyd family members? Are you only the kids? Sarah and Edwin, are you one of them too? Here with Emmett and Emmeline? Can you turn can you turn that off?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
there's the
trying
Casey.
to.
Okay, there you go. There you are. All right. Well, that's cool. Hang out, guys. Play. Have fun.
It's
Oh,
so neat.
so there's a can there, guys. It's got a red light on it. Can you make that beep? Anytime you feel like making a beep, just pick that can up and it'll sense your energy. Phoenix Angel, hello. How you doing? Welcome. We're just here hanging out Saturday night, talking paranormal.
So that was the last place you went was the Thomas house?
Mhm.
That's the most recent?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So let's talk attachments and negative energies real quick. So you were saying something about, so you're not the only one. There's another guy, another channel, Seen from Within. The guy's name's Brian. He, during one of his lives, mentioned that during one of my shows, he was picking up on something negative that was around me. And in fact, one of the places that I went, one of the cemeteries that I frequent, he's also a psychic medium, and he said that he's getting something that I'm being stalked, somebody's watching me, something negative. In fact, um, we got 100% confirmation of that. So did you hear that?
I did. I heard that.
The scratching.
Mm-hmm.
We got 100% confirmation of that when we were there. The first time we started down the steps to go out to investigate at night. At first, they said at night we're going to get you, or they're coming for you, or something like that. But
Wow.
when we're going down the steps, very, very loudly, they said there's something with them. What it is?
Hmm.
Up, I see the red flashing on the ceiling. Are you confirming that? Is there something negative here that I need to get rid of, guys? Can you make that beep for yes? Make that can beep. You're making it flash. Hey, there he is right there. So, hey, Brian, we're talking about when you told me that you sensed something was watching us, something negative. We got confirmation of that from the spirits, other spirits. They said that there's something with them. Um,
Hmm.
so here's the thing. I have a ton of spirits following me that come from all over the place.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can stop a spirit from dropping in on you, whether you want them to or not.
Well, I mean, you can always protect yourself from negative stuff, but I mean, to me, yeah, the regular spirits, no, I don't know of a way to stop them, or I guess you can learn to block them out if you wanted to,
You
but
ignore them, right? You basically, from what I do, me personally, me and Tab personally, when they come through on the through the spirit box or whatever, I do not acknowledge them. If I hear it, I try not to. Well, I most definitely don't add it into the videos, and it
yeah,
doesn't get words on the script. It's a nasty uh EVP, I just discard it. So I basically, you handle them like you handle trolls. You just don't give them any
right.
life.
That's
You ignore
right.
them.
That's
What's
exactly
up,
right.
Mike?
But I mean, I definitely believe that there can be negative energies that can definitely affect your life. I've seen that many times.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's weird because I, even though they say that I have something around, I don't feel like I have anything affecting me. Um, there was a time when I did, but it's not now. And so is there something around, guys? I see the red light. Up, boom. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
they're
a
going
nasty
crazy
person?
tonight.
It's a nasty person. Are they mad at me? Did I do something to this person to upset them? Okay, I did something to upset them. Um,
Hmm.
was it in the process of investigating or going to the cemeteries? Was it something I said or did at a okay? I disrespected somebody? Okay, well, I'm speaking directly to that person right now. I'm sorry. I have no intentions on ever disrespecting anybody. My what Tabitha and I, our mission is to help people. We're not here to upset anybody, to step on any toes. In fact, if there's something that you need help with, a message or something, I can help you. That's why we're here. That's what we do. That's why we do this. So, rather than being upset with me, why don't we find a way to work this out?
Yeah, for
Can
real.
can we do
It's gonna
that?
be okay. It's
Oh,
gonna be
boom! I'm getting
okay.
some. Yeah. I've had an issue with not a negative entity, but a person.
Hmm. Like
It's
an alive person or deceased?
it's a deceased person.
Oh.
Years ago, when my wife was a teenager, she dated this guy, and they got in trouble. Uh, and basically, they parted ways that night. My wife and this guy, after getting in some trouble. Anyways, he showed up through the spirit box. He has passed, and he came through being not so nice at first. So I had to kind of like, we went back and forth a little bit, and
Hmm.
then I decided, I was like, well, wait a minute. This guy, he's got kids, he's got a widow and children he left behind. So I was like, look, man, it's why don't I help you? I can do that for you. You have
Yeah.
children. I would love to do that. That's something that I would, even though we've had our differences, I can still help you with that. And
Right.
after that, we're good. We're good. All that nonsense back and forth stopped right then.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's a good approach. I mean, some entities have morphed so much into something else that there's just no talking to them, no communicating, no anything. They're just evil. It's just pure evil. But for the most part, you can handle it by getting them to,
Pass the rest of my
talking to
paper.
them and stuff like that.
Phoenix Angel. My father and grandfather recently passed away. Are one or both of them coming through for you, or do they have a message? Maybe this one will be. So, are you asking for me? Or are you asking for Hillary? So, if they both passed, let's see.
I would need their first names, honey.
Yeah, if you can do that, maybe she can help you a little bit. Um, a lot of times after people pass, you might find that lights will flicker, electronics will be manipulated a little bit, and that's called ADC, after death communication. It's very very
Mhm.
common. Um, I think almost everybody who's lost somebody has experienced that to some degree. Some people choose not to acknowledge it, or they think it's just coincidence, but it's a very common thing. Hillary, is Mark at peace? Lynn is asking.
Oh, yes, I've talked to Lynn about this, and
Albert.
yes, Mark is definitely at peace.
Okay, Phoenix Angel. Albert is my grandfather, and Kenneth my father.
Okay. Albert and Kenneth. I'm definitely getting an Albert real strong. He's talking to me about some troubles that you're having right now, and basically just wanting to say that it's going to be okay. The isolation isolating that you're doing because of your sadness is, and I don't think this necessarily has to do with their passing. I think this has to do with something else. Um he wants you to know that it's okay and that you're going to get past this and that they love you very much.
Am coming through called Stephen or Cousin It? Okay, that's an interesting one. So, Wind Whispers, you hear that? Wind Whispers says, anyone coming through called Stephen or Cousin It?
Hmm. Not yet, not right now. I'm
I
sorry. Maybe they'll come through here in a minute.
I get, that's interesting because I got a Stephen a couple of times the other day, me and Tab, but it's not our Stephen, because our Steven is Stevo, and he's about 16, and you can definitely tell that he's an adolescent male. You can tell that. I recognize his voice. This Steven is not my Stevo.
Yeah.
Um,
If they can, if they're wanting to know stuff, just make sure they put their name. That would help me. But
okay,
but yeah,
cool.
any kind of yes nos is great. That'd be great. Or questions about what
Okay.
I've done, or what
Well,
I do.
here's one from Susie, and
Okay.
I believe Susie's one of my, not neighbors but local to me. Uh, my ex boyfriend from the past, Rick, just passed this last week. Why would he want to contact me? What does he want?
Okay. I'm immediately getting a Rick saying, because I conditioned you against someone, against your parents, maybe. I don't know, but he's saying that he was not good to you at all. I don't know if this resonates, but not good to you at all. And is basically coming to try to make amends.
Mm, that's it's interesting because I'll say this, Susie. I've had a lot of people come through that I just keep seeing weird stuff. But anyways, I've had people come through that you would think there'd be no reason for them to come through, especially people that I've had like little falling outs with in the past. Um, Not all of them right away, but I've had several of them come through since then, and it's just to let stuff go and to wrap up, tie up loose ends, old stuff from the past. Like
Mhm.
it's very common. I
Yeah.
It's interesting because a family member of mine, quick story, was um back in the 70s, had a friend, and they went to go sell a pound of pot. And long story short, this family member of mine believes that he was set up
Mm.
and ended up doing a year in the workhouse down here in Cincinnati. The workhouse is no longer around, it's condemned. But he ran into this guy years later. The guy swears he had nothing to do with it. It wasn't a setup. But I mean, it was. It don't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure out that it was a setup. But
Yeah.
that guy came through the spirit box and
Mm.
said my family member's name, said his name, and said he should remember me, is what he said. He should remember me. Then I called my family member up. I said, hey, I got this guy coming through. You know who he is? And he's like, he's not dead. He lives over in Bond Hill or something. And I was like, yeah, nope. Google him. Sure enough, he had passed 9 months previous. So, like,
Wow.
normally in the first year, they make a lot of rounds to different people all over the place. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they do. Let me close my door real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, babe. Thank you.
I don't see
Sorry,
a
my
light,
dog
bro.
got in.
I'll see movement. I'll see movement out of the corner of my eye. I'll see shadows. Um, but a lot of times, when you turn your head, you can just catch it shooting away. Um,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'll see shadows. I'll be looking down the hall, and I'll literally see what looks like a shadow that you would see if you casted a shadow on the ground, and it's just picture that, but freestanding in the air, moving through a
Yeah.
hallway. That's what I see. That's what
Yeah.
I tend to see in my house. It's
Well, we can all see them. It's just we've trained our brains to not see them. That's why young babies are, talk about Nana or whatever. They'll be talking to something that's not there. Same thing with animals.
Yeah, yeah.
Not talking, but
The cats definitely see the spirits. They chase them around. They play. Yeah. Okay, you guys like the cats, huh? Can you turn a flashlight on if you play with the cat to confirm that somebody's here that does that? I know one of the kids does.
now
Flashlight
what's
though.
the
Can you do
red
it?
light?
They should be able to make that beep. See, it's fluctuating when it's flickering the red light. If they touch it, if you try to pick that can up, it'll beep. You guys need to
Oh,
use
okay.
a little more energy. Is
Looks
that
like they're
iDubbbz?
trying.
You see, hey, what's up, OG? So, yeah, it's I'm accumulating a lot of freaking spirits, man. I didn't know that. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to accumulate a million spirits in my home. For some reason, a lot of them are following Tabitha and I.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean,
Do you ever put protections on yourselves?
mm, occasionally. I mean, I if not really. I'm gonna be honest. Not really.
Yeah.
We, I wear this. I wear my Saint Michael. I always have my red cloth in my left pocket per Lynn's recommendation. Um, we have sage. We use sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. We don't use it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
typically,
it
yeah,
wouldn't
definitely,
hurt.
100%.
Just that's not going to make them go away. It'll just keep them from going into your private personal space. It'll keep the boundaries up. When you do the protection ceremony, just make sure you say something along the lines of please respect my boundaries.
I talk to them out loud. I mean, I do that. I
Yeah.
speak to these spirits like they're living people because they're no different. They just don't have a body. See that they're confirming that. I talk to them all the time. Man,
Yeah.
you guys are really hammering those K2s.
Hmm.
You like seeing that light up? Oh yeah, there they go. So the actual builder of the Thomas house, I
Hmm.
have a picture of him, and the picture it says H.J. Cloyd, and I just uncovered an EVP about 15 minutes before we started the live because I was editing all that, and it says my name is Henry.
Wow.
So I want to see if Henry is in fact Mr. Cloyd. That would be cool because I got an EVP of are you a Cloyd? Light it up. They lit it up, and I asked them if you're a Cloyd, can you say your last name? And I got I'm a Cloyd. Um, I got Sarah saying her name. I got Edwin saying his name. The two resident children ghosts.
Yeah.
It's I'm really really stoked about this one. I can't wait to get it done. It's going to take me several solid days of editing, but it's worth it. It's
When
definitely
you
worth it.
redo the EVPs, do you clean up the sound at all, or no? It just.
Oh, okay, so I use an app called Splice. It's a very
Mhm.
basic app. On that app, the most you can do is like isolate a little clip, and you can remove the audio or boost it up to 300%. So there are times where I've boosted it a little bit to make it just a little bit louder, but for the most part, no, it's not much. Yeah, like cleaning, like removing. I don't have all that editing equipment, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I left the buzz ball in your glass, babe. I brought it over here. So, you want me to pour you a glass? Yeah, and then I need to go change and I'll be right back. Okay, go ahead. Or actually, no, I don't need to. We're holding it down.
Hey,
You can't have
Tabitha.
that shirt on.
I know.
Okay.
I don't need that. I had Sarah pick me up those things that I liked that we had.
Oh, okay.
So I just need to change and I'll be right down
Cool.
to join you guys, okay?
No problem. She's gonna change and then she's gonna join us. And
Okay.
what
I
else do we got?
just know that I can't see the comment. I see them kind of moving, but I can't read them. So
Limestone, what's up? Native atheist, what's up, folks? So what's going on? Let's see.
I
Can you
don't want
guys
somebody
just
to think
read the
I'm ignoring
comments?
them.
Talking about right now. Okay. You want me to read the comments?
You
Well,
don't have to read all of them, but
here, let's get rid of that one. Block that person. If you don't, I guess that person was never taught. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. You just got
that's
blocked.
right. That's right.
Sorry.
Click like a little bee.
It's a shame. You just cheated yourself out of a opportunity to ask a question about something you don't have the answer to. You can get the answer right here. Knowing that you can get answers to things that you can't come up with out of your own tiny little brain, don't you think you just cheated yourself? I'm just playing. We're not that special, but seriously, she could answer some questions and be a nice guy. Don't be a
Yeah,
bad guy.
yeah. Be nice. We're being nice. You be
What's up,
nice.
blank man? The tree. What tree are we talking about?
The life tree probably behind me.
Oh, okay.
Tree of life.
Oh yeah. I want to. I had one of those, and I want to get another one. I don't know what the heck happened to it. I used to have one of those made of purple amethyst, rough purple amethyst crystals, and they're one of
Really?
my yeah. It wasn't very big. It's only about this tall, but
Mm,
they make some really cool ones of those.
they really do.
Yeah, I like those wall hangers. That those
Yeah.
I've been looking at
Tapestries.
those on the. Is that what they're called? Wall hangers, tapestries.
Tapestries. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a bunch.
Well, so how is it for so? There was a question back here. Where was it? Lynn put one in there, and I completely went over it. What the heck was her question? She asked how many cases. How many cases altogether have you worked on? Like,
Oh my gosh. There's way too many that I worked on. I solved about 18.
no shit. Cold
Mhm.
cases.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to talk with you after this live about some lottery numbers, okay? You would hope that it would work like that, but it
You
doesn't.
would think, yeah, it should. It should work like that. We don't
I
have the lottery here, but when I've gone, believe it or not, I have won.
really.
Small amounts, not, the big lottery, but
Yeah, I'm looking for that Powerball.
me too. You and me both.
Oh, okay. What do we got? Okay. What cases had you startled or shaken up? Oh, well, she did cold cases, but so were there any of those that like stand out that bothered you? Like any of the
Oh
facts of the
gosh.
case that really upset you, that made you maybe focus on the case more or not be able to get it out of your head or something?
Yeah, usually the ones with kids are the ones that stuck with me and still to this day stick with me.
I
I,
bet.
I live I live in Alabama in a small community, and so I know everyone, and they all know me, and so it's tough. I don't know what I should talk about, what I shouldn't, and so I'm still, because I'm just new to the internet thing, so I'm still kind of trying to figure that part out. But I can talk in vague, you know.
Let's see. Is there a device that gives a human-like voice? What do you mean? What do you mean, OG? Um, when they come through the spirit box, somehow they're able to create the voice that they had when they were alive. The EVPs, when they come through without the spirit box,
Mhm.
and I've been able to compare these because I've gotten John Totten, especially. He goes, John Totten, John Totten. He says it like very, very distinct, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've caught that on a regular EVP and through the spirit box. So somehow, yes, the way they speak in life. And I don't know how they're doing it, man, because it's not coming out of human vocal cords, but
Hmm.
somehow they sound exactly like they, not all the time. Now, sometimes when they come through the spirit box, it sounds kind of robotic, or it may sound almost maybe even demonic at times. And that's because of maybe sometimes there's distortion in the
Yeah.
radio waves or something, but you can't always assign intention by the sound of an EVP.
No, right.
So
Definitely not.
yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. It's
That is wild. I would love to, I've thought about getting me a recorder and trying to get some EVPs, but I've never done it.
you don't
I
even need a
bet you I could
recorder.
get some pretty good ones.
You don't need a recorder. What my videos are done on is a freaking iPhone, an
Yeah, okay.
iPhone, and I'll show you a little cheapy. I got it right here, actually. It's just a cost me like $80 plus this external microphone, but it's just this is all it is. It's a little handheld camera
Oh,
with
okay.
IR night vision on it, and
Cool.
sometimes the EVPs are picked up by this. So what I do is you'll sometimes on my videos you'll see two angles. You'll see one from my phone, and then you'll see the night vision. Hello, who do we got there?
Mhm.
Do we got? I wonder who that is. Anyways, you'll see one night vision angle, then you'll see one angle from my iPhone. And sometimes most of the EVPs are on the iPhone, but I can go back and forth and isolate them and boost this one.
Yeah.
subtract some volume on another one. But yeah, these are it's so
Handy
simple,
dandy little
and all you need
recorders.
is a cell phone. A cell phone. Like
Yeah.
the other night, I went to pick my son up from work, so I'm sitting outside of his job, and I'm just sitting there with my phone. So I turn the motor off, I turn the air off, and it's and I the windows are rolled up, so I make it as silent as possible. And I hit record and I say, "Hey, if there's any spirits in the car with me, can you say hello?" And immediately I get, "I'm here."
Hmm.
And
That's
I just
cool.
played it back right there in the car. So uh
One time I was recording myself sleep just because my husband told me like my snoring was really bad. So I was going to do a sleep study. So I was recording it so they could hear it. And there was just people talking the whole time, like just nonstop talking.
whispering. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the
It
EVPs.
was
So
really cool.
it's weird because the EVPs have shown me very clearly that whatever's going on in their dimension, which is overlapping our dimension, they're talking back and forth just like people would talk back and forth in life. They're having discussions. They're walking and talking with us. And one of them said they told me to thank you. So like they literally it's like an alternate dimension pretty much with
Yeah.
everybody that we knew that was once alive is now in that dimension.
Right.
And it's weird because they know they can see us, and it's not really, I don't, who was it I was talking with the other, was it seeing us, or is it like an awareness and a knowingness of, because I said, okay, let me ask the spirits this: can you physically see us, or do you just, is it awareness, like a knowingness of what's around you and what's going on? Okay, they answered that one.
Hmm.
So
See,
you
I've
can't
always
see
I've
color.
always been told they can see us just as clearly as we can see them. Well,
Spirits
I
did
guess
more
y'all can't.
confused.
I guess y'all can't see them.
Worse with that.
Yeah, you're right.
Like sometimes we
You're
feel
right.
like for sure they can.
Because they've answered, like, I said, what am I wearing? And it says
Right.
a leather jacket, or what color am I wearing? And they'll say red or
They'll
blue.
know it.
Yeah.
But does that mean they see us, or do they just know because I know, so they know?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, I know that there's been times where they've answered my question mid sentence, so I haven't even gotten the question out, and they're answering it, or they answer it a fraction of a second before I ask the question, and I don't catch it till I review it.
Hmm.
So, but not
Interesting.
not all of them can read. I guess, can they all read minds? Hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate that,
Um.
OG Mike. Keep up the great content. 4.99 super chat. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate
That was
that.
sweet. I don't know. I don't think it's that they can read minds. They can just, as far as, I mean, I no, I believe they can see us, yes. But as far as like our emotions and stuff like that, and they can sense that. Like now, spirit guides to me are different than spirits. They're more, they've been over there longer. They're a lot more trained as far as how to do things over here. Um
How long
and
do you think then? How long do you think they need to be on that side before they can really be a spirit guide?
see, there's not like a certain number because time's different over there. So there's not like a certain number, but some have been over there centuries.
Hey, what's up, Red Rider? So like, look, I got
Hold on, I have a question about spirit guides. I'm trying to get over
me
there,
too.
but like I
Did you turn
think
that light?
she
Is that light off?
it's on. I'll turn it off.
Is it
I
on?
was
The
pulling
kitchen
my
light's on?
I was fixing
Oh,
no,
okay.
just the bathroom light.
Oh no, it's cool. What I'm seeing is the light's still on the show because there's a delay, so it's gonna click off any second
Oh, okay.
now.
Um, go ahead, Chatty.
I just forgot what I was gonna ask now. See, you
Good.
interrupted my tiny little mind.
'Cause you're good. 47 minutes into
All right.
It's my turn.
Go ahead. You ask, and then I'll ask because I remember.
Well, go ahead if you remember.
Well, I have the Totten family here all the time, and like John Totten was born in the year 1800, and at the age 12, and he was in Ohio's first militia in the War of 1812. 12 years old in the War of 1812. There's some confirmation right there. I always brag about that because that is just, it blows my mind, guys. Can you imagine that? You're an infantryman at age 12.
That's how it was
You're a
back then.
badass, John. You're a badass, John. I'm just telling you. Then the guy goes on. At Flash, you're welcome. You're welcome. But you truly are. And then he goes on, and his family has a massive fire. He loses some children. We got some more flickers there. Loses 7 children out of 10 prematurely before the age of 10. 10 and down. He loses 7 children. It's the
Goodness.
man lived a life for sure. I think he died in like 1878. So for somebody in the 1800s, he lived quite a long life. But he's around all the time.
Yeah.
Other family members, his daughter Emmeline, loves me to death. She's always lighting stuff up.
She is.
Always comes through. So like that family. So would you consider them? I guess me personally, I just consider them like an extended family, not
Yeah.
necessarily spirit guides. Just like we jive real good with each other. We mesh. We're good.
Yeah. All I can tell you is my personal experience, and my personal
Hey,
experience,
Artie.
my spirit guides, I hear differently. I hear them. It's hard to, this is so hard to explain.
Hey, Sarah.
Not everybody, believe it or not, has spirit guides. They have like guardians over them. But people think everybody has spirit guides, but they really, not everybody does. Most people do. I mean, I have never ran into somebody that actually didn't, but I mean, I've heard that they
You mean
don't.
guardian angels? Everybody has guardian angels.
Right. Guard,
Right.
yeah. If you want to call them that, yes. Um, but like with me, my spirit guide, I can hear in my head. I can actually hear the voice in my head. And I can see clearly as like I can see you. And spirits, it's more audible. It's more I can hear them in my head as well, but it's just a different voice. I can't it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it to me that blows my mind because like I have this ability to I cannot hear what they're saying, but I can always tell when they're talking. Um,
Right.
you're gonna see it on this video coming up. They're whispering. Every time I think I hear something, you hear me. I'm like I'm reacting, and then you can hear it in the video. There's definitely an EVP there, so I'm gonna boost some of those. But so I have this ability to detect that there's talk. There's some type of speech there, but
Yeah.
I can't tell what they're saying. But she very rarely hears it, but she's getting better. I think that is not just I think that's an ability like you
Yeah.
have that I'm
Yeah.
slowly honing and being able to detect this stuff. That's what I think.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I think you've always been able to like hear them really since we've started, but that
Right.
he's noticed it like more and more lately. And then when he's going back and editing,
Uh,
we realize that whenever he thinks he's hearing something, there is actually something there.
yep.
Right.
And
And
I think
those can also be like spirits becoming more familiar to you. So
Mhm.
you're starting to be open more to hearing them.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think my question was, and I can't remember if it was you or one of our other friends who read people, but
Hello.
I can't remember like what the difference is like with the spirit guide, I guess, versus like the definition of a spirit guide, I guess. I'm asking what that is.
Oh man, I now that I wouldn't know the definition of, but
Okay.
to me it's just guides that are in that spirit realm that have been there for centuries and centuries, sometimes, you know, generation. They're ancestral people. They're usually, well, they always are from your lineage.
Okay.
Okay,
Um
that's what I was going
it,
to ask. So those would be the people then when you pass, and those are the ones that show up to greet you or send you back if if you have like a near death experience or something. That would be
right.
them then.
Right.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
God, this bud
I
smells so
agree.
good.
You're silly.
I love my cannabis.
Everybody knows that.
Oh yeah,
Sound like my husband.
in Vermont. Oh, I saw an apparition at Half Moon State Park in Vermont while camping. Believe me, there's something else out there. I get nothing from saying no. No, you're 100% right. It's when you know beyond the shadow of a doubt that there's something else out there. Um, it's a very, to me, it's a very calming thing. It's
Yep.
the most troubling. All right, guys, Let's talk real talk here. When I got into my late teens, early 20s, I started having really bad anxiety. And it was anxiety attacks that ended up me going on Xanax and all kinds of meds and shit. And the reason was because I would have panic attacks and to where I literally felt like I was dying and couldn't breathe. And I was panicking over I'm sick, or when I do die, that's it. Boom, I'm canceled out. There's zero consciousness. You're just worm food. That's it. You cease to exist. And that is a very frightening thought, isn't
Right.
it? It's paralyzing.
Yeah.
Um,
I
it,
don't think it is now. I think.
oh, not now, because I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that we do. But see, the only thing I had that, and then I was clinging to science, and that is energy cannot be created or destroyed. It merely changes form, right? So I was
Mhm.
like really clinging to that, like it's got to be true, it's got to be true, you know what I mean? So when we started the channel, that was so that's what I'm saying, like knowing that there's something else out there, like it put that fire out,
Right.
that
That panic.
that panic, right.
Yeah.
but then but
Well, I
then
mean, I think with all there's a lot of evidence of there being stuff out there that we can't explain. There's just too much evidence. So if you go on science, you have to go on the fact that evidence has to back your theory or hypothesis or whatever. There's just too much evidence
what's the
that
green
there.
laser thing? The green laser thing back there,
I
that is.
answered it in the chat.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
The K2 meters.
Yep. Those are K2 meters, and what those just measure energy in the environment. So the theory is that ghosts are energy. Well, and those meters there, if a transient energy goes near those devices, they'll light up. So they're ghost detecting devices that have been pretty much proven to be pretty on point. They work. Yeah, so you understand. White Mike understands the anxiety. I think everybody at some point in their teens or early adulthood faces that truth that I'm going to die. You go through your teens, you don't think about that. Your childhood, you're busy doing this, doing that. I'm invincible. You're with your social life and whatnot. But then everybody's faced with that fear at some point, and they ponder those things. What it would be
Yeah,
like to pass, when I'm going to die, and and all of that. So
absolutely.
We get a lot of young people who come in and just like with very small ailments, and have what eventually does get diagnosed as just anxiety, but they want like full body scans. They want somebody to like
tell them they're fine,
validate
that everything is okay and they're healthy. And I can tell you, I can't tell you like for all the years I've been a nurse, how many times I've seen that. But also being a mother, my own children went through it. Our youngest daughter recently,
at the same age as me.
through that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All three of my kids.
He had to go pick her up physically from work, and have her go looked at because she just was for sure she couldn't breathe. It was a classic panic attack, the chest pain.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get her calmed down, and I was working, so he went and picked her up. I mean, this just happened like maybe 6 months ago.
And it's just like what I thought. And they're not going to take our word for it. They want to hear it from a medical professional.
I was like trying to tell him
that you are a medical professional.
In between both of them, I understood what was going on with her, but she needed to hear it from somebody that wasn't her parent. And,
Right.
And also, he's trying to tell her, you've seen the evidence. She's been there when we've done some investigation, so she's firsthand heard things, So he said, trying to calm her, saying, you've seen it. There is life after this. There's something after this. And I'm telling him that's not helping the situation. It's really not, because she's not, like, she's hyperventilating and she's not even comprehending what
huh? Right.
Oh
no.
So it was a vicious circle. Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Mr. Troll Vespucci in here says that so a plate tips over and your first thought is some poltergeist has entered your dwelling. Actually, you're incorrect. If a plate tips over, the first thing I think is that a cat is walking off across the counter, and there's a natural reason for that.
Same.
If you think that I'm one of those people that thinks every noise is a ghost, you're actually wrong. I'm one of those people that actually goes and finds and debunks 99.9% of the time that there is a explanation for what's going on. We are a science-based group, my wife and I. So that's what it is.
And I think for 99% of the time there is an explanation.
Absolutely.
Because there is, exactly.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
There is, because most people
said it the best, I think.
Yeah,
that was
you're right.
The best way to say it. Yeah.
People let their fears get the best of them, and I think that James is basically pretty much projecting his own mind into the chat, knowing that I guess he thinks that anything happens at his house may be a ghost. Most people do that. They project their own fears and anxieties into their projections into the world, and so if that thought wasn't in his head already, that I can't put that thought there. So
right.
Hey, Empress. Hello, Neo. So
hi guys.
Yeah, they quieted down back there.
No, they've been going.
It's like a private joke. To be honest, Hillary, it's like a private joke. To me and Tab, we because we joke about this all the time. It's like, because I get the Bible thumpers on Facebook that they just swarm me sometimes when I post stuff, and it's a private joke, because literally we get to interact with people who have passed. That's cool shit. That's cool stuff, guys. To be able to do it and repeat that over and over again and speak to the same people, to be able to do that first off is just unbelievable. It's amazing. It truly is an amazing gift and a blessing to be in that situation. So when I get attacked or we get attacked, we have private laughs, because why would you want to deny yourself the opportunity to try to figure out what else is out there? Why are we here? What are we doing here? What's the reason why we exist, right?
Right.
Why would you deny yourself the ability to think open-mindedly?
But I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
And I would
That's
honestly,
what wives do.
I want her to see her thought, because this is how I feel though. like when you say that Bible thumpers attack us, like I feel like Bible thumper is kind of like I wouldn't say that. I would just say like religious people. And then I would say we also though believe, and we've had this
not religious
conversation.
people, not religious people. When I say Bible thumper, I mean the ones that want to push their beliefs on you
So
regardless
like
of
extremists,
right,
basically.
right. Like they have to tell you this, that you're wrong, and those are demons, and those type. That's
Okay.
it. That's it. That's it. That's when I say Bible thumper, because they're pushing it. They're thumping it down your throat.
Because the only reason why I said that, now that you explain that, I get what you're saying.
Sure.
But when I was playing devil's advocate was because I understood you to mean something different, and I know that we both also.
Because I'm very spiritual and somewhat religious to a certain extent.
You are. You're probably more religious than me, to be honest. And but
That's
we
changed.
also just said on our last show, and I know this is what you believe, that people have to find their peace in their spirituality or religion. Either way, I think everybody.
It's a personal thing.
And I don't think I said this part, but I think everybody's really ultimately searching for the same thing, but they're searching for it in different ways, whether it be through prayer to whomever their God may be, minus the people who just don't believe in anything.
Right.
But I think even those people, and this is my personal opinion, deep down at the core, have thought about it too. I guarantee it, 100% almost. They've thought about what it's like after this life, regardless if they don't believe in God or spirits or spirituality.
It's true.
Definitely.
So, that's just, but those are all just my personal opinion. But I know John and I kind of are in sync with most of those things that I just said.
Yeah.
Mine
I just
changed.
call those type of people extremists. It's just
You
you can
got
have
them.
extremes in any religion
You
and
get them.
any
You get them on
beliefs.
TikTok. I mean, it's the same crowd that you deal with, that we deal with. It's
Hmm.
it's you know what? Good for them. If they are that confident in what they want to believe in their minds, good for them. I'm happy for you. Salute, best of luck to you. Just leave me alone. I'm not
Yeah.
bothering you. Leave me alone. Because that's the thing. We don't go out there trying to make people believers in what we do. We just go out. We have fun doing what we do. We enjoy spending time together. We go and investigate. We put up the evidence, and you guys can watch it and take it for what it's worth. Do with it what you want. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. We just have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Communicating with the spirits, that's the coolest part to me.
Definitely.
No, Empress is talking about how when demonic things on horror movies and films, she'll mute it. I stopped watching some of that stuff. Like there's a couple of clips in particular. If you've ever seen Pet Cemetery, the original one, the sister Zelda that's all
Mm.
twisted up in the bed, like
Mm.
that is frightening to me. Like that, seeing her jump up and come running to the door, that's more frightening to me than walking through a cemetery at 2 a.m. When I'm hearing disembodied voices and stuff like that. So I'm right with you when it comes to that. That and The Conjuring. Everybody seen The Conjuring?
Mm.
There's a clip when in that room, that one armoire that's left behind, that antique armoire, that
Mhm.
ugly creature's on top of it that jumps off, looks very
Yeah.
similar to Zelda from Pet Cemetery. Forget about it. Those two things right there, I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. Those that like that are, I don't even want to think about that stuff going into an investigation.
Right.
But that's the type of stuff that messes it up for people, because Hollywood scars people when it comes, because it's not like that.
I think I've shared before, my parents used to tell me this story, and my mom grew up in a very religious household. I say that all the time, but my grandparents on her side were very religious. But that might be one of a
hey, it's probably family.
Yeah.
They're always here.
But they used to tell me a story when I was younger, how when the movie Poltergeist, was it Poltergeist? I'm pretty sure it was Poltergeist. No.
No,
What's the
it was
one where
Exorcist.
the Exorcist,
Exorcist,
that
yeah.
was it. When that came out, my mother said she slept with a cross under her pillow for
Hollywood,
because
man.
she, even though it was Hollywood, I think well, they grew up Baptist, so they would get the
It's a true
Holy
story,
Spirit,
though.
but
Yeah.
so not anything negative. But I think because of the religion that she grew up in, they believe something like that could happen to somebody. Maybe not that extreme,
Demonic
but
stuff.
it's the thought of somebody's body, being
Being
taken over
overtaken,
by
like
yeah, yeah,
exorcisms and stuff like that. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
No, I agree. I think that could happen. I
She
mean, I
was actually
personally
from
never
Florence.
witnessed it, but hey, I mean, I know the Catholic Church deals with that and has had an incredible evidence to prove to them that it is true.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's a true story, The Exorcist, but it
Yep,
wasn't a
it sure
female;
is.
it was a male. And I did a thing on it a while back on a different channel, but yeah,
Based on a true story, yeah.
it surely is.
I do think people can be taken over, maybe just not to that extreme, like not maybe where somebody's physically, but John has shared before when we first started doing this. I love to do this, but well, as you could see by the circles under my eyes, I'm very, very busy like all the time. And I know what like this channel meant for him, and he works from home, so he has a lot more flexibility than I do. So he would want, long story short, he would want to investigate a lot. I'm too tired, I love doing it. It's not that I don't want to go, it just,
Right.
I didn't have the same amount of time at the time. And then sorry, I lost my train of
No, you're
thought for a
good.
minute. But then we were having these really nasty arguments for a while, and we've shared that already.
Bethel Churchyard,
On the
man.
way to Bethel Churchyard,
Bethel
and
Churchyard.
he was still newly communicating with Lynn at the time, and I before he didn't listen to me because I was telling him what is going on. You don't usually like speak to me like this. This is like, I mean, he really was like a different person.
I
I
was
Wow.
getting
mean,
pissed for nothing all the
the
time, and
arguments were, it was absurd. That's all I could, that's the only way I can explain it. We've been together for almost 30 years, so I know John like the back of my hand, and it just wasn't the same person.
Yeah.
And I kept like one night it just kind of hit me because he had also been having some depression, thinking that Steve-O wasn't around anymore. I'm like, I really do feel like, because it literally only happens every time we were scheduling ourselves to go to
Bethel
that
Churchyard
churchyard,
every
Oh
time.
wow.
and that was really where we spent 80% of our time at the time, because we really hadn't decided what our channel was new, and we hadn't decided what we were doing, and
Yeah.
um, so I was like, when I said, what has gotten into you, which most of the time is just a blanket statement, then I like kind of hit me like, no, his emotions, I feel, are being affected by
Absolutely.
whatever's going on there. And then that went on for a while. He kind of brushed me off. And then Lynn told him the same thing, like randomly. And then he finally listens, of course, because that's
Let's see. I'm trying to put the here we go. Here, guys, I'm putting. Nope, I don't have a wrench in this. Damn it! Can somebody grab her link here? Let me try to get in the live from here. I'm trying to put Hillary's link in the chat here. Here we go. If you guys haven't subbed to Hillary's channel yet, I'm trying to get her built up a little bit. There's her link. That's the YouTube one. Let me do TikTok too real quick, because you can catch her on TikTok every night at 8 o'clock.
Right.
oh yeah,
That's
how's that been going? I know that was pretty new
it's
for you.
been going, yeah, it's very new, the internet part of this for me, and it's been going really, really well. I'm kind of at the same level, so I'm not really going up as far as viewers or down. So I'm just the TikTok has to push you
Yes.
on the FYP and all that, so it's different than it is on YouTube.
I don't understand any of it. I'll be honest.
That's all right.
I say the craziest things to him sometimes, and he's like, "What? No, that's not how that works." I asked him a silly question. I think even either yesterday morning or this morning. I can't remember.
Well, honey, I don't either.
So I'm like, I
Takes
don't
time.
get how it works, but I know he's been working at learning it himself for a few years now, and really is just now getting it like really down pat.
Yeah,
Best advice I can give you: learn how to edit. You know
yeah,
that's because that's one thing you need to do, and it costs money. So, and it's pretty easy. It is. Start
yeah.
with Splice and just play around with it.
Things to say.
Yeah, that are you guys being ignored? Is that what it is? You want to say something?
It was getting really busy back there. I'm surprised the flashlights didn't
See,
go on.
they do want to talk.
But the K2 meter stopped for a second.
Yeah, guys, make sure you sub to her YouTube channel and the TikTok, so you can catch her as well. You never know.
Yes, definitely.
You may have some questions pop up. You may want to. You never know when you want to contact somebody or whatever. So.
And over on my channel, I do mini reads for $7.77. So yeah, come check me out. My regular reads are 30. And let me think if there's anything else. DM me on there, or you can email me.
Wow.
hnalexander79 at icloud.com.
Wow, can you guys back away? Make it stop. Thank you. All right.
Oh, good. Red Rider said, "Sub to your YouTube channel, but I'm not into TikTok."
Gotcha. I
That's the other thing
understand.
I'm learning is that people have certain platforms that they use the majority of the time or watch the majority of the time. You got, the Instagram is a huge one right now, which is
Mhm.
crazy because I remember when Facebook was huge and now Facebook's trying to add things that they didn't have before as all these other like channels are coming out.
Yeah.
And I think John and I were about, I would say, at least 5 years behind on the Facebook thing. It wasn't till our kids were teenagers and they wanted Facebook accounts. I was like, oh, let me get on here and see what Facebook is
See
all
what it is.
about. And then
Yeah,
I feel like I was on it more than they were after that
I
for a
know.
while, connecting with family and friends from school and like, just things like that. And then so I was pretty
Absolutely.
addicted to that. But other than that, and I don't even use that anymore.
You listen to that. Okay, we get it. You want to change the conversation? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're like, this is not about Facebook.
Just make it stop beeping and we'll talk about something else.
I think
Why
that
is it
you
making
want
it beep?
something more than just that. It's wanting to talk to us about something.
I know. I agree.
Do you want me turn on a flashlight if you want the spirit box? Do you want the spirit box? No?
It's kind
Is
of
there somebody
flashing.
are you here for somebody in the chat? Will you make it stop beeping? Back away. Come over here by me. Sit over here on the couch. Come over here by us.
It is upset.
What are they doing?
Something else. That is way different.
Are you
I
doing
feel like
Morse code?
I feel like it's like a male.
Are you doing Morse code? It sounds like you're doing Morse
they're not
code.
answering either way.
It really does.
It doesn't. It sounds like Morse code.
Yeah, it's like
Can you leave it alone though for a minute? Back away. What the hell?
And either
I'm gonna turn off that
if you
feature
get up
because
to
it's driving
turn
me.
it off,
It's gonna stop.
and
I
it'll
know.
stop. It does it to you all the time.
Let me scoot by. I'm gonna go turn off the temperature setting.
Yeah. And I'll take over.
All right. Listen to this.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is the temperature thing.
All right. Now, if they touch it, it'll still beep. It just won't.
okay.
Yeah.
The flashlights are my favorite thing.
Yeah, mine too. The flashlight was going nuts when we first got in when I first got in the chat,
Mhm.
it was going on and off and on and off.
That is my favorite, and they can do this really flash,
The
quick
strobe,
flash,
the
like
strobe, yeah.
almost like a strobe light sometimes.
Very
But
cool.
the other, my most favorite thing, I guess would be the best word to use with the flashlights is, what do you say, 95% of the time when we're getting ready to, when we say we're done and good night, it does a quick blink, and then
they turn that right when we wrap it up.
Yeah.
They do a quick flash on the flashlight.
Yeah.
Boom! They just did it. Or was that the K? Was that the
I think it
flashlight or
was
the
the
K2?
I think it was the K2.
Okay.
But it is they say goodbye to us with the flashlight literally probably like 95% of the time, even when we've had like no flashlight activity the majority of the night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, that's one of my like favorite. I was just going to read the chat. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Paranormal Live.
Maybe that's what they were trying to tell us.
Yeah,
back
I
there.
don't know. Yeah, guys, if you hit that like button if you haven't, we'd appreciate it.
Isn't y'all's called Married with Paranormal?
Married with Paranormal, yep.
Yeah, okay.
One of our spirit friends gave us the idea for that
name. Gave us the name.
Which was
really
because I hated that. I hated Married with Children when I was younger because my dad watched it every single weekend.
You hated it?
I hated it when I was younger.
Oh, I was going to say, I love
love it when you and I started watching the reruns like years ago. And then we've rewatched the reruns a billion times since then.
Yeah. My husband had rewatched that a couple of times too.
Yeah, it grows on you. They're
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so Ryan asks, is Beelzebub, he says Beelzebub, but it's Beelzebub, a real thing? I believe, so I was brought up Catholic. Living Dead fam, what's up, y'all? I was brought up Catholic. And in my adulthood, I kind of was like maybe undecided. Since I've been doing the Spirit Box, they do talk about the kingdom of heaven, uh, Jesus, the Bible, heaven, hell, demons, angels. They do talk about that over there a lot. So if they're talking about it over there,
yeah.
And then don't forget. Here's another thing. My nana would do uh, her Bible studies, her daily work. She did Bible stuff every day, and very religious. And after she passed, she came through and she would say, "You need to get a Bible." She actually that's she was Tab was talking about that roller coaster of emotional turmoil I was going through. She solved that. So if she didn't believe that she was in heaven, which I believe that that's where she is, she would tell me. She would say something. So I believe that maybe it's a personal thing as to what it is. Wherever we go, that's where everybody is. That's past. So whether you want to call it heaven or the next world or the fifth dimension or whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. So, do I think Beelzebub is real? Uh, yeah, I mean, good and evil is real. Heaven and hell is real. In my opinion, from what I've heard from them, I can't. I'm not speaking from firsthand knowledge, of course, because I'm not on that side. That I can't see over there. But I don't know. What would you say about Beelzebub?
The way they've described it to me is that it's levels and
But the devil, I mean, Beelzebub is another name for Satan.
yes.
Which they do bring up a lot too on the Spirit Box too. So
But you usually take that out.
I take it out. Yep.
Like in the beginning, we were getting a lot of the
triple numbers coming through, and I still get that to this day.
Yeah,
I
to
just don't
me,
put it in.
I mean, yeah, I've seen demons, so yeah, I know they're real.
Yeah, Living Dead fam. If you guys haven't checked them out, let me see if I can put
I
their
didn't know
link
how to
in.
drop their link.
I'll
just
do it real quick.
explained. So I told them they could.
Yeah, I gotta go grab their channel real quick. Yeah, maybe I can just click on it. I think.
You're gonna have to teach me that so I can do that in the future.
Yeah, I'm used to the. Let's see. Go to channel, share, copy link. All right. Yeah, guys, check out Living Dead fam. They're out there on the West Coast. Check out like they're over at Disneyland all the time. They give tours. They are definitely into the Halloween stuff big time. So are we. It's all right up our alley, right? So check them out. Give them a sub. Drop in. They do lives all the time. Good people. Go hang out. Um, so yeah, that's it's just crazy with my whole perspective on the religion thing and all that has changed since doing the spirit box, but just from what I've learned,
Yeah,
because when we're kids, we go to school, whatever we learn from in Sunday school or what our parents teach us, or going to church, people believe as fact, right? But
right.
when you're getting the information directly from people that have passed away, I that kind of holds a little more water in my book. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
it's kind of it's changed me. It's big time.
I am actually going to have to go here soon, Johnny.
No, you're good. We've been on what, an hour and a half. We can
Yeah.
wrap it up. We can wrap it up. It's no
Well,
problem.
I mean, is there no way I can leave and you can stay?
We can stay for a minute if you
Yeah,
want.
we can stay on. No problem. Yeah,
Okay, now you will you
Tab
tell
wants
me
to
how to
stay
do
on. We can
that?
stay on. What's that? So guys, yeah.
She said, "Can you tell her how to do that? Like how she could drop it without will it mess us up?" Is what she
I would
Right.
think you would just close out
and it won't like shut
the
us
window.
down. That's what she
No,
was making.
no.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you for everything, and I will see you next time.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right.
There was someone, and I don't know if they're still in the chat, but we kind of got off sync a little bit at the timer.
Which one?
But it was a long time
You
ago.
just scoot over a little
I
bit
just
if you want.
remember that they were asking about. Do you have to take her off, babe?
No, it'll drop eventually, I think. I don't know. I don't know about these vertical lives. This is a newer thing to me. Anyways,
Sorry, but they were asking like, had we ever felt like a animal jump on the bed? Was the example they gave
yes.
or something?
Yes.
But it really they weren't there. Like so, like they were asking about that. So
How about in the chat, guys? Have you guys ever experienced that in your own home? Have you been laying in bed and it feels like a cat jumps up on the bed and you can feel it walk across the bed? Have you ever experienced that? I know I have. I know she has. Oh yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. It's because that is probably a spirit animal, I would think. Don't you think? Oh, is that what it is? Are you validating that? Are there spirit animals, spirit cats? Yeah, see? I still want to do that experiment, trying to get Trophy to bark.
yeah,
I could
he
get
had
her
a dream recently about one of our family dog, the only family dog. We had one other dog, and unfortunately, at the time, we had to rehome it. But then the one family dog that we had from the time it was a puppy till the time we had to put her to sleep. And he recently had like a dream about her to the point where he had like he called me at work and was just so, upset about her. Um,
Yeah.
and that wasn't too long before we had to put our last guinea pig down either. That was
That's
like
true.
literally a couple days before we had to.
My brother too came through a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. How many of you in the chat do you ever experience that? Do you dream about people that have passed? Um, to me,
People or animals? Because I feel like most people will definitely have dreams about those who have passed
what do you
away.
mean? People are. What do you mean?
You said people, but we were talking about animals, so I didn't know.
Animals and people. I've had them both in my dreams.
But you were asking the people in the chat, so I was asking, did you really mean people or did you mean animals?
Both. Either one. Do you guys, have you ever had a pet that passed and then you dream and they're in your dream? Or a friend or a family member? Like my brother. For like a week, I had a dream almost every night, and he was like, it was in that dimension, he was alive, and we were doing our thing or whatever. But yeah, that's a frequent thing. I dream about people, that your mom, Gary,
Yeah,
all the time.
That's why I felt like people would be common. But I've never had a dream about one of our deceased animals. I'm just now thinking about that.
Yeah,
I haven't.
more than one.
I know.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I actually think that dreams are glimpses of alternate dimensions. I've had dreams where I was me, but my identity was slightly different. Or I've had dreams where I've only had maybe like one kid instead of three. Has that ever happened to you?
Mm-hmm. I was commenting on Pumpkin. Excuse me. Their comment says, "My little brother died in a 2013 car accident. I have been waiting for him to be in a dream, but no dies."
Did you ask it? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You may have a dream now. That's the thing. It's why I asked, because some people don't have dreams of people that have passed, because for some people that's like having a visit, and I think that's what it is in a way, is a visit.
Now I'm racking my brain, like, have I had a dream?
Or is it a visit? Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Right, because now that you said maybe it's a visit, and some people think it's a visit, and I'm curious to see how many people in the chat really think it's a visit from, lost someone you've lost over the years, if you think it's a visit. Because now I'm racking my brain and wondering, have I had a dream? My mother passed away in 2017.
Oh, your mom's been in a lot of my dreams.
But I don't know that she was in my dreams. However, I will tell you that our youngest daughter, after my grandmother passed away, and my grandmother was closer to me than my mother, and as crazy as it may sound, I used to wonder who I would grieve more, because they were both not terminally ill, but in very, very poor shape. So unfortunately, I know I would lose both of them pretty prematurely.
And then no matter how much time you have to
prepare yourself,
yeah, it just.
But so in my head, as crazy as it may sound, I kept thinking, like, if I lose, like, I really thought I would grieve for my grandmother way more. And Mom, I know you're here, but that's really how I felt, because my grandmother raised me, because my mother had some addiction issues. So and my grandma, but both of them were very proud of me, and I loved them both very much. And my mother overcame her addiction issues long before she passed away, but they were both in poor health, and she passed away before my grandmother. So my daughter, our youngest daughter, used to think my grandmother was my mother. That's how much my mom was removed at the time when she was alive, just with her addictions and things. And she had a dream. She called me sobbing, because she had a dream about my grandmother after she passed away, which all my Sierra, in which all my kids are very, very, were very close to my grandmother, because she was a stay-at-home mom. So she was our daycare. She helped us raise our children. She potty trained them and everything. And she said she woke up from one of those dreams that feel real, but what really got her is when she woke up, she could smell
her. Yeah, the surreal ones like that.
Yeah, she said, when I woke up, Mom, I could smell Grandma, And then that's when, and then of course I started sobbing. Then at that point we were both sobbing. So I don't know. I feel like that was definitely a visit from my grandmother, because it honestly happened to the daughter who probably was not the closest to her. And I think that, long story short, she wasn't the closest to them because John started his business when she was 5. So she didn't go to my grandmother's for 10, 12 years like our older 2 children did.
Right.
So my older 2 children were very close to my grandmother, which was of course their great grandmother.
And none of them met your grandfather, who
He
comes
passed away
through.
when I was 11, but
Yeah,
but
I didn't meet him
comes
either.
he does come through.
He comes through.
Yeah.
Well, they both come through, but they've made it very clear they're together.
Yeah.
They talk. The cool part is her mom and her grandma come through, and any of them that have kids, Sarah, and a couple of her cousins, they bring up those names because her grandmother was put on earth to raise children, to
Yeah.
take care of
Yeah.
children.
I feel like, actually I know, I used to think it, but I know now that everybody always tells me how good of a person I am and how good of a heart that I have, and I really do feel like I'm an empath, which I'm just
You just
realizing
learned,
within the last year, that I get my heart from her. Like, I know that 110, like, for sure. She was the kindest person that you would ever meet. She would, when people say somebody would give their shirt off their back, she literally would give you that, uh, plus her last penny if she had it to give. And she was the neighborhood mother and grandmother for everybody and everyone where we lived throughout my whole childhood.
Nope, she's one of the ones that comes through on a
And it
regular
was
basis.
just so natural to her. John and I were talking about her yesterday when you were driving me to work. And we were really talking about spam. So that was yesterday. Spam and fried bologna, because
We
he
made
wanted a
some.
bologna sandwich, a fried bologna sandwich. And I said, "Oh my God, fried bologna and spam. That was my grandfather's thing." He used to feed my grandma's chihuahua table food. No matter what it was, it would drive my
Just
grandmother
little
crazy.
slivers of spam, because it was a little cute little chihuahua and just a little sliver of spam. He loved it, so he would come over and beg. And how can you turn down that little begging face, right? So I'd slice him off a little piece, slip it
And
to
for
him.
whatever, my grandmother didn't like that the dog would beg, so she would get on John. She would say to him, "Please stop doing that." But I knew it was just burning her up
But
every
he
time he
loves
did
it.
it.
I would say, but he loves it so much.
And then she really didn't know what else to say to him, and she didn't. But when he left, she knew exactly what to say to me, because she didn't hold back with me. She would say, "I need you to tell your husband that no, Tabitha, tell your husband I said quit feeding my dog and I mean it." And I'm like, "Okay, Grandma, I'll tell him." And I would tell him, and then he would feed the dog, and then I would get in trouble.
Because I would sit down, and he would come with those little sad eyes, and how can I say no to him? I couldn't say no. So
I got a little off spirit topic there
that's all
because I
right. No
started
big deal.
talking about Grandma, but I was just sharing with you guys my daughter's dream. And I do think that, I believe that was a visit, and I've never experienced that. Like, I truly don't know if I've dreamed about my mom or my grandmother since they've passed. I know they've been in my dreams prior to their passing, but now I can't remember anything since they've passed.
I'm gonna say something. So Pumpkin says that she's tried to have she's asked for that. She has not had a dream. Maybe try right before you go to sleep. Think about some past memories together, some positive stuff, and try to put that like as one of your last thoughts as you drift off, and see if maybe that maybe helps. Is that a good idea, guys? What do you think? Yeah. Okay.
In my head, I was thinking, I hope that my mom or grandmother come see me in
If
my
we
dream.
boom, so if we ask spirits to come visit us in a dream, does that help? It does. Okay, cool. It does. Awesome. All right. So I would keep trying. Maybe up. See, they agree. Maybe it's just not the right time. Um,
Did you see Lynn's comment that said, Pumpkin, you can ask them to come to you in a dream and wake you up so you remember. Lynn, I feel like that's definitely what happened to my daughter Sierra when my grandmother came to visit her. I don't know that Sierra asked for it because it's also the same daughter that was having the anxiety that I talked about. But I must have believed it could happen at a young age because, well, I just said this story
Mama, what are you
recently.
doing?
I would pray that something like that did not happen to me after my grandfather passed away. I was scared.
You know, today I was having this thought. Did you hear that?
Yep. I have no. That honestly couldn't have been
Moo.
unless it's Tiger, or it could have been Ollie.
That was pretty loud.
It didn't sound like an Ollie thump. It sounded
No,
like
it
a
sounded
clip.
like a door shutting upstairs, and there's nobody here to shut doors. Anyways, we got this EVP at Edenton Cemetery, and I don't know if it's either my brother or it's David Evans, and he's saying, check out Cider Mill. Cider Mill is a street that I grew up on from 1984, 83, 83 or 84 to 90. That came up in an EVP. Check out Cider Mill. You know, how many people are going to know that, right? That's obviously somebody I know that's passed on the other side that had some connection to that street. So it's either going to be my brother or David Evans, because the classmate, my third grade classmate that passed, that he actually lived on that street with me. So I was thinking about driving down that street today, oddly enough. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something. I'm going to knock on the door of my old house.
Really?
Is that a good idea? Do you want me to do that?
Well, they've
Is
been
somebody
working
here
for a
telling me to
minute.
do that? Who told me to go check out Cider Mill? So, see, somebody's here. So basically, my brother and I had a very startling experience. I don't really know what really to classify
Well,
it
it
as.
definitely would be. I think startling
Life
is a
changing,
good word.
maybe
No, I just think startling's a good word.
memorable. How about memorable?
Memorable's even better.
Okay, so we were fighting as kids do. We were probably, hell, this was probably like 1987. So 7 and 8 years old. We're fighting. So one of us, he got sent upstairs to go get ready for bed first. It's early evening. He comes basically falling down the steps. He's coming back down so fast. His face is white. And I'm looking at him. We weren't getting along. We just got done, bickering and fighting and fussing. And it was enough to shake him to where our fight no longer mattered. And he wanted to get me to come up and see what he was seeing.
Look who's in the chat.
Hey, Bean. So I go upstairs with him. It's about, I don't know, like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I go up. We're downstairs in the basement. It's like a den area. My parents are watching TV. So I go up with them. We go into our room, and sitting right inside our doorway was either, I can't remember really if she's Indian or Asian. She was a little darker complected, dark hair, red dress for sure, brown skin or darker caramel colored skin. And she's sitting with her eyes closed, and she's got her hands in her lap. She's sitting there like she's just meditating. Not looking at us, not moving, very still. And I look at him, he looks at me, we look back, she's still sitting there. We're screaming at the top of our lungs for our parents to get upstairs, right?
I don't remember you telling me that part.
I've told you this.
That you were screaming. I don't remember hearing that.
We're yelling for them to come upstairs. We turn around, it's right as they're coming up. getting ready to round the corner. We turn around, she's gone. Just the chair sitting there, nothing else. So I thought maybe I'll go knock on that door and ask them, hey, I grew up here. I lived here in the 80s. We had a very significant paranormal experience here. Have you encountered anything paranormal? And if so, maybe see if we can't get in there. That would be cool. Not only just investigating there, I'd like to see the place, man. To be honest, I haven't been in there since 1989, the end of 89. So just to be able to see the place. I mean, I'm sure the layout's still the same, but that would be cool because somebody wants me to check it out. So maybe we might. Have you done? You ready to wrap up?
Oh yeah, I'll come say goodnight.
Okay. No, you're good, Pumpkin. Thanks for dropping in. Your channel again. Your teacher wasn't cool. Good. We're gonna start doing more lives like this, the vertical lives. A lot of people are saying they're not getting the notifications. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
But there were two things I want to address really quick before we go. One was from BB, and I hope the other person's still there. Hold on, let me go back. I wanted to see what opinions were about reoccurring dreams. BB said,
the house by a lake.
Having a reoccurring dream of a house by a lake. Yeah. So what do you think about that? And if is Lynn still? Oh, she's gone. I think. I was wondering what Lynn's opinion was. We'll have to come back to that.
They mean something. They mean something.
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to remember. I think what I learned before was a lot of like superstition. But so we'll rediscuss that topic.
Dreams.
Reoccurring dreams. And this other topic that Ryan said was what's your take on coma and spiritual realm connectivity? So I think those are both two really good topics that we should discuss the next time.
Yeah, we'll get some. We'll
and I'm going to take
educate ourselves a little bit.
I have opinions on both, but I do want to look into one because there's a superstition about one, which is how I was raised, that I think we'll make those the topic of our next discussion.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We appreciate it. And spirits, thank you for hanging out with us too.
Thank you, guys.
So
and thank you guys.
Yep. So until next time, guys, Max, over and out.
Bye.